guys! In this video we will show you how Björn built our underfloor or hidden shower, and in the end of the video we will talk about why we opted for a hidden shower option and not a proper shower room, if we are happy with it 3 years later, and name a couple of pluses and minuses.
So we had a little look under the floor to see what's going on, and we have enough room for the shower tray and to make a little hatch that we can close it off with, so we still can have Baltzar's bed here if we're not using it. Now it's just the rest of the work left. We're gonna take these ones out. It's a metal frame for the floor. They're hollow, but we have some space beneath the floor. So I'm gonna replicate this, and then I'm gonna put a new frame underneath the floor so we can get the tray in here. So now that we cut out the hole for the shower tray, we want to support the beams we cut off. So we went into town, we got some metal. It's a L-shaped beam, 3mm thickness, that we're gonna weld in to support the beams we just cut off, so we don't weaken the structure or anything in the bus, just in case. Before we lower the shower tray in, we're gonna use the treated plywood that we have used for the rest of the floor in the bus. It's a special plywood that can withstand all the weathering and the wear and tear under the car without it getting damaged or rotting because of the moisture. Okay. 17. More or less here, right? So more or less here maybe? So it turns out that the frame we welded was a little bit too close to our fuel cap for our tank. We're gonna try to get around that by changing the frame a little bit and see if we can get enough clearance so it's easy to use. Now I fitted the plywood sheet into the frame that we welded yesterday. And now we're gonna fit the shower tray in to see where the hole ends up for the plumbing. So we know where to make the hole for the plumbing, and hopefully we can install the shower tray today. And there's just the lists and the trims around to fix after that. Something like that. Fint. Now we fitted the shower tray. So now we're gonna cut wooden trims around to cover up all the holes and to connect it to the floor. And in the back part where the hatch is gonna be, the hinges for the hatch are gonna sit in that piece of wood. So we're gonna make it a little bit thicker and connect it to the wall again, so everything is stable. These are the 3 lists that I cut up before. And here we have a thicker one. It's gonna end up in the back, against the wall to support the hinges for the hatch, and these ones are gonna go around to make sure that we don't see the insulation or anything. Then we can connect our light source to these ones. Let's see if we can get everything together and start on the hatch. The hole I just made in the corner of the shower tray, we need to put this LED loop through so we can connect it and we can seal it up so it's waterproof. We're gonna use this loop around the shower tray to get some light into the shower area, since we chose black shower curtains and black shower tray. It's probably gonna be pretty dark in there when you take a shower, so it might be nice to have a little bit of a light source so you can see what you're doing. And on the outside, after we install this LED loop, we're gonna put a sheet of plastic material that's gonna prevent everything from getting wet. And then we're pretty much done with the shower tray part. Then we're gonna start on the hatch. Now all the plastic pieces are in place. On top of those, we're gonna put our LED lights around the tray, and we're gonna cover them up with these lists that we got in town. It's the only version we can get on the island where we live. There is a plastic version that you can get if you don't live here, and it's way cheaper, so I would go for that. These ones, all the lists we needed, costs almost the same amount of money as the tray, about 85 euros. So it's quite expensive compared to the plastic ones. But we have these ones, so now we're gonna try to fit them. We already cut them into shape. Now we're gonna put them into place, pre-drill all the holes, and make sure that nothing is in the way of the LED strips when we install them. So let's get started. We got our new LED list that we're gonna install today, and we got this controller to it, so we don't have to install a switch. We're thinking I have a solenoid switch in the hatch, so when you open it, it automatically turns on, and when you close it, it automatically turns off. So now we have this controller instead, that we can change the color and everything with. You can just choose, or there are some different programs and stuff, standard programs. Frame out of stainless steel to support the hatch, so it gets a little bit of support since we're gonna be standing on it, and Baltasar is gonna stand on it because his bed is on the top of the hatch, so it's supposed to be able to handle the weight. And on top of that frame, we're gonna put a 7mm sheet of plywood that we're gonna glue the floor to. I'm gonna glue this laminate on top that looks like the one we have on the floor now, so everything looks the same. Let's begin. We got these stainless steel profiles that we're gonna use to mount around the hatch to support the weight of the hatch on the side of the shower tray, so that we get the space in between the hatch and the tray to store our shower curtains in. The hatch is almost ready. We just have to install the handle and put some lists around it. So let's begin with the handle. So, we've had this shower for 3 years now, and the most important question is, are we happy with it? And the answer is yes. Let us explain why. Some people after watching our videos were wondering why we decided to build a hidden shower instead of a proper shower room. Well, back in 2019, when we were still working on the Belzebus conversion, we still had our beautiful Irish Wolfhound named Balthazar. Balthazar was a very big dog. In fact, Irish Wolfhounds are considered to be giant breed dogs. He weighed over 80 kilos. And as you can imagine, he took up quite some space.
If you watched our van tour, you might remember that it was important to us that Balthazar had his own bed and space where he could feel safe and at home. Therefore, instead of building a small shower room that would turn that part of the bus into a small corridor, we decided to compromise and opted for a more open build solution. Balthazar was the reason why we chose to make not a fixed bed, but a bed that could be turned into a sitting area, so he could choose where he wanted to be, in his corner or lie on the floor by the bed. Balthazar was a big dog, and we wanted him to be able to move around the bus freely and be comfortable.
Unfortunately, our beloved Balthazar passed away 2 years ago. But when we were making decisions about the interior, he played a big role in why the interior of our van looks the way it looks today. And now we have Louie, and he is a smaller doggy. But we still feel that it's important for a dog to have a space of his own and not to be crammed in a small passage in between a kitchen and a shower in a van. Are we considering building a proper shower room now, when we have a smaller dog? Probably not, or at least not in the nearest future.
There are more pluses to having a shower like that, at least for us. Generally, we are happy with how open the van feels, and we're still able to shower indoors if we need to. Louie has his own space. We can use the space for storage for larger objects if necessary, and it allows us to make a wider 80 by 80 cm shower, which is more comfortable, because if we had a wall here, we might have had to make it smaller than it is now.
There are not that many minuses really. It takes some time to set it up, which can be annoying, but it's way more useful than annoying. It just takes a few extra minutes to set everything up. And it takes time for the curtains to dry before you can close the hatch, but it's never really been a problem for us. Also, during summers, we can always shower outside. For example, before we used to hang a double shower curtain in between the doors and turn them into an outdoor shower. But when it gets cold, it's a different story. If you travel during winter, you also might find that most of the campings are closed off-season. So the hidden shower allowed us to preserve Balthazar's corner and gave us an option to shower indoors when necessary. We hope you guys found this video useful. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next time.